I'm Bailey. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. If you haven't found me before, I create a lot of natural childbirth content and new mama content as well. And I created an entire series on planning a natural childbirth. If you don't want a natural childbirth or you planned a natural childbirth and you didn't get that, you are still amazing no matter how you birth your baby into this world. So I am not here to preach natural childbirth and tell you that's what you need to do. But if you are interested in trying to have a natural childbirth, I am here to provide information that I have learned so that you can have that and do with it what you wish. So that being said, today let's create a birth plan.
Beautiful sunrise, good morning. Never have my eyes things so amazing. The colors of the clouds around you reflect the beauty of your arrival. Beautiful sunshine.
You know what a birth plan is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it is a plan you and your partner will have going into your birth. I, for one, think that it's still important to have a birth plan. I know you can plan the plan, but you can't plan the outcome. You should have an idea of what to expect. Creating a birth plan puts you, your partner, and your healthcare provider on the same page. I created a health plan. What? I created a birth plan when I was 20 weeks pregnant. I was in my Bradley Method course and we did it as one of our events and it was so much fun. We did visual birth plans. I am going to link my favorite template for a visual birth plan down below. Go check it out. It will give you all of the pictures possible. Print it out, cut them, paste them on a piece of paper and do it up. Do you want an IV? Some people in their birth plan will indicate that they don't want any IVs. I'm just gonna give you a really quick example. When I was 37 weeks pregnant, I tested positive for GBS, which is group B strep. It's just something that happens in pregnancy. They wanted to hook me up to an IV, which was administering me Pitocin every 8 hours. So I would walk around with the bag of fluids. I had two problems with that. The first problem was I'm allergic to penicillin. Second problem I had with that is I wouldn't be able to be the free-moving pregnancy, labor and delivery unicorn that I wanted to be. I wanted to move around. I wanted to have a water birth. I spoke with some of my favorite mamas. I did my research and I found a method of naturally curing GBS. I did that method. I took those vitamins. I ate that specific diet for 2 weeks. And then my midwives were so kind. They tested me again for GBS. I tested negative and I did not have to go through with the IVs. Another thing that could be on your birth plan is membrane sweeps. Your healthcare practitioner will simply sweep their finger along your cervix. The aim of it is to separate your membranes around your baby from your cervix. This is said to release prostaglandins, which could kickstart your labor. A membrane sweep can be uncomfortable and it can cause you to be really sore afterwards. Something you put on your birth plan is food and drink for mama. If it's important to you to eat and drink while you're in labor, put that on your birth plan. Something else you could put is no students, please. I had a student, loved my student. Totally up to you though, whatever you're comfortable with. No visitors, please. I mean, if you want to give yourself the first 2 hours to just have your skin to skin, figure out your breastfeeding situation with your baby, that is totally fine and very, very common. Some birth plans say Pitocin only if medically necessary, so there are some women who choose not to have Pitocin. They do not want a synthetic form of hormone injected into them when they're laboring. I made an entire video on Pitocin and induction. If you're interested in watching that, I will link it above and below. A word that a lot of birthing mamas are using on their birth plans now is gentle cesarean. Say you want to have a natural birth and you plan for a natural birth and you do all of the things that you possibly can, and you end up having an emergency C-section, I'm here to tell you it's okay, okay? Do your due diligence in planning for your natural childbirth if that's what you want. Give it 100% of you, but understand that things happen and that it's okay. Gentle cesarean could be requesting that anesthesiologists do not give extra drugs to relax. Mama may want to be as alert as she can possibly be when baby is born. If mama is hooked up to EKG or other devices, they can be, moved so they don't infringe on her ability to hold her baby and move about when the baby is right on her chest. Mama can watch baby being lifted from her belly through a clear drape. Music of the parent's choice can be played in the operating room, and doctors and nurses can be asked to refrain from shop talk. Another thing you can include in your birth plan is VBAC. VBAC stands for vaginal birth after cesarean. So if you're a second, third, fourth time mama and you had a cesarean section and you would love to try for a vaginal birth this time, you can include that on your birth plan. Now, obviously, if you are that mama, you've discussed a VBAC in great depth with your healthcare practitioner, so they understand your wishes to try for a VBAC. But there could be other nurses in the room, lots going on, and then everybody is on the same page. Eye ointment. So some mamas choose to say that they want to delay the administration of eye ointment. They want to refrain from giving eye ointment to their newborn babies, or they go with what is standard and have their baby have eye ointment, which in that case you wouldn't need to include it in your birth plan. Eye ointment is an antibiotic referred to as aliticin. It is the same antibiotic used to treat chlamydia and gonorrhea. Now, this antibiotic is said to help prevent neonatal conjunctivitis, which is essentially pink eye or any other infections of the eye. It's used as a just in case. When the baby goes through the birth canal of a mom who could potentially have chlamydia or gonorrhea. It is an antibiotic. You discuss it with your partner, you weigh out the pros and cons. Some mamas put no formula. Go to your local health food store, do your research on formula, and purchase a formula that you are 100% comfortable with your baby potentially having. Donated cord blood. If you are donating the umbilical cord blood, you can state that in your birth plan. Some hospitals do it, some areas don't. You may want to include your plans for the placenta on your birth plan. So if you're having a hospital birth and you plan on doing nothing with your placenta, you don't have to include it. If you're having a home birth, your placenta is your responsibility. There are certain proper means of disposing your placenta. If you're not using it, it has to be dug way under, because it is a body part, so you have to properly bury it so that a dog can't pick it back up or something. Some people like to keep their placenta in its raw form and use it as a placenta smoothie. If you're doing placenta encapsulation, which are pills, let your healthcare practitioner know, because you'll often have a placenta encapsulation specialist come to your home or to the hospital. Put your placenta in a cooler, take it with them, they dehydrate it, they leave it raw, they put it into capsules. So if you are having a boy, you and your partner will have to discuss the option of circumcision. In the most non-biased way that I can say it, circumcision is basically exposing the end of the penis by removing foreskin that covers the glands. If you choose to have your baby circumcised, it usually occurs within 2 days of his birth. Let's talk about the procedure just so you have a good idea of what it is. Your son will be awake, placed on his back with Velcro bands used to restrain his arms and legs. The doctor will clean the area with an antiseptic. He will then inject an anesthetic into the baby. 3 different types of clamps or plastic rings are used: Gomco, the Plastibell, and the Mogan clamp. The clamp is then attached to the penis, and the doctor clips off the excess foreskin. My midwife said that it's 51% of baby boys are circumcised and 49% of baby boys aren't circumcised. Your birth plan can include, if you don't want to have an episiotomy and you prefer to tear naturally, be it that you tear. An episiotomy is a surgical cut made at the opening of the vagina during childbirth. Vitamin K shot. Vitamin K shot is something that is administered in the foot to newborns. It helps with blood clotting. Vitamin K is not passed through the barrier from mama to baby, so baby is vitamin K deficient when he or she is born. Things you should research: risks involved with foregoing the vitamin K shot, the rate at which a newborn is able to metabolize the vitamin K injection. You can also purchase oral vitamin K. You will not be offered it at your hospital, especially if you live in Canada or the US. You will have to do that all on your own. And if you are purchasing vitamin K drops, it is your responsibility to administer them weekly for the first 3 months of the baby's life, and to make sure that you order them online within a given time frame. You may include in your birth plan if you want to deny the hepatitis B shot for your baby. Hepatitis B is a contagious liver disease caused by the hepatitis B virus. Bath, this is a fun one. So, do you want your healthcare practitioners to bathe your baby, or do you want to wait until your baby goes home and you and your partner bathe your baby? If you want to wait until your baby comes home, maybe include that in your birth plan. We chose to delay Kai's bath. He actually didn't have his first bath until 1 week after he was born. He was covered in vernix, which sounds so gross, but it has so many healing properties for their skin. Vernix contains proteins that prevent various bacterial infections. Think of it as like a natural antibiotic ointment. Why would you want to wash that off, right? You could include, you want the lights dim, you would like to have a water birth. If you are having a hospital birth, a lot of times, I know in my hospital, I live in a fairly big city. It's not huge, but it's not small by any means, and there is one tub for water birth at the hospital. So if it's available and you want a water birth, then you can have it, but if it's being used, depending on the time of year when you have your baby, how many other mamas are in labor, then you will not have access to it. My hospital, the rules were no pushing in the tub. You were only allowed to labor, you weren't allowed to deliver. Water is amazing when you're in labor if you can have access to it, especially if you're hoping to have a natural childbirth. You can request immediate skin to skin after delivery. That's fairly standard. You can request delayed cord clamping until the cord stops pulsating. You can request that your partner cuts the cord. And I think I touched upon most of the things that you could add to your birth plan. I mean, there may be some other things. You want music playing. It's always good to have that open communication line going, but keep in mind that you don't want your birth plan to be so extensive that your healthcare practitioners, 1, feel overwhelmed by it, and 2, don't even reference it because they don't have time. That's why a visual birth plan comes in handy. Keep it to 1 page, and most importantly, you guys, have fun making it with your partner. Talk about how you envision your birth going, talk about the bonding experience the two of you will have, talk about those hours and moments leading up to before you meet your baby, when it's just still the two of you or a family of 3. Can't see my dog. Oh, there he is. He wants to go outside. You want to go outside? And enjoy each other and have so much fun making it. I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you somewhat of an idea of what the meaning of things are, and I hope it's getting you kind of thinking about what you want for your birth and how you envision your birth going. Thank you so much for watching another video. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you're interested in this type of content, and click the notification bell to be notified when I upload more so that you don't miss a video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy planning your birth. Enjoy the rest of your pregnancy, and I will see you in my next one.